That's the only Ninja Turtle shirt I had. Gummy bears? Remember gummy bears?
He doesn't. You know some of them.
Is that
Calvin
Calvin Hobbes?
Yeah. There's also Astro Boy, Captain Caveman.
The cartoon Astro Boy?
Caveman.
The better Astro
All right,
Boy.
so everything's running.
The less racist Astro Boy.
Hey, everybody, my name's Joe.
I am also Joe.
I'm
over
not
there.
Joe.
That's not Joe, that's Dave. That's our
Not
buddy
him.
Dave. He's been on here before
Krang.
for Super Smash TV, his favorite game that we didn't like.
Whatever.
Or I didn't care for particularly.
There you go. There you go.
But that's it. Today, you can see we're going to be playing Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. So, first off, we're going to go through the usual motions. What do you think of that cover art?
I actually think that looks pretty cool. It would be a good poster.
I mean, looks like Michelangelo's trying to squeeze one out, but... I mean, really, dude. And Joey didn't grow up on the Ninja Turtles like we did, though. Like, the Ninja Turtles was probably the biggest cartoon, at least for a couple of years. You know, as far as like the cycle of cartoons, there was like G.I. Joe, and then there was like the Transformers time, and then there was this. And the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles definitely dominated cartoons for a while. And it's not like today, Netflix, you've got every cartoon you ever wanted
Right.
with TV.
Well, Ninja Turtles also was that show that like had like series after series of toys.
Yeah, they did.
Like any character that showed up in one episode had an action figure, and it was sweet.
For sure. Let's take a look at the back of the box, which I know is kind of hard to see, but so I mean, basically, you've got your little explanation, and then you've got your 4 1-inch screenshots. I really wish they'd make these screenshots bigger, but this basically just tells you what it is on the tin. It's a fighting game. Now they do have one weird forward scrolling
Beat 'em up.
race level. Yeah, it's a beat 'em up. Sorry. I mean, it looks all right. Gives us a good expectation of what we're gonna see. And then, of course, we have the game manual. I did manage to find the manual for this one. Always entertaining when you find the manuals. This is a really short manual, too. So you get... Shredder just picked up a woman. Yep. He stole the Statue of Liberty, I think, didn't he?
Yeah.
Him and Krang. Beginning of the end, one player explains your levels and your health and all that. Here it explains your moves. There actually are quite a few moves in there, as far as like whipping dudes around and throwing them towards the screen, which is how you beat Shredder in the Technodrome, if I remember correctly.
Shredder fight.
Yeah. It explains they do all have different power levels, which is nice. Completely unnecessary, but nice. And then it shows you your enemies, basically. So that's really it. It's not a very long instruction manual. It's enough to get the point across. I always love it when they give you like the roll call of the bad guys, though. So you get to see all the different bad guys. And then obviously your characters are just the sprites. But, I mean, that's it. Not a horribly impressive manual, but it's there.
I didn't know that the characters actually had different power rankings.
Yeah, neither did I. But they do. It looks like, Leonardo's pretty much all 5s. It's on a scale from 1 to 8. And then Michelangelo has a higher normal, but a lower rush attack, and then higher special and higher defense and lower speed. Donatello has normal, level 6 basically, same as Leonardo, and normal and rush attacks, but he has a really high special attack, and then low defense and lower speed. And then Raphael has a low normal attack, but super high rush, super high special, super high speed, but very low defense. So gets taken out easily. So Michelangelo has the most defense, and Leonardo is second behind him. So if you want to live a while, those are the guys to pick. But if you think you're skilled enough to just murder people, then Donatello and Raphael. But that's it. We're going to go ahead and pop that off. And if you want to reset. I think Dave's got first player
Selecting
there.
B.
Well, there we go.
So, are you going to be upset if I pick Michelangelo because he's my boy?
I don't think it matters to Joey. That's
Okay.
he was.
I was gonna play Michelangelo or Leonardo because I have played this before once and I'm not
great at it.
Leonardo and Donatello have a little bit more reach
Yeah,
than
with
the other
time.
two, so I would recommend those two if you're just coming into probably Leonardo.
Leonardo, he's got a higher defense, keeps you alive longer. So, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. This is very much a arcade beat 'em up. Was this in the arcade, Dave? Do you remember?
Yes, but I don't think it came into the arcade first.
I don't remember. But I don't remember Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3.
So, the arcade game was the second Ninja Turtles game. So it's the first Ninja Turtles game, the one that most people don't like. They say they don't like. It's my favorite, or not my favorite, but I like. And then the arcade game, and then the third one was just another beat 'em up.
That was a very large person.
Yeah, I love how big Krang is in this game.
Well, Krang is really small. It's his big
he's
suit.
Krang. It's his super suit. Bloated beanbag.
So,
Big Apple.
Big Apple. Why?
Yeah.
B
And
is
then
jump. And that's pretty much it. And then it's just a combination of things. So if you hit your jump and attack at the same time, you'll lose some health, but do a special. And if you're right next to them and you tap Y, you should grab them and whip them around or throw them at the screen.
It's kind of hard to do.
It is kind of hard to do, which is why I always thought it was weird that it was like a main technique for defeating the game. I like how the Foot Clan actually like grab a hold of you and hold you down. Though. Like most beat 'em ups, you don't get that. They just beat you and then move around.
As far as beat 'em up goes, there's a lot this game has that you don't see in others. Like the jump kick.
Yeah.
Like it's a pretty nice move. When you get like stuck in a corner and like double dragon or something, you can't get out of it. Being able to do a jump attack.
Yeah.
Nice.
Jump out of the way.
But they can do it too.
Sprite works pretty solid in this game, I think. Peace time.
Oh, it's a barrel.
If you hit it, it starts to smoke and it explodes.
Good Dave remembering it something fierce.
Oh man, this is one of those games. When people talk about games they played a lot growing up. This is one of the ones for me.
Okay, apparently if you're walking long enough, you do
A run, yeah.
The rush.
And yeah, that's your rush. So if you're moving quickly, yeah, there's Krang super suit. Watch out for the eyeballs. Yeah, so once you're doing the running thing, if you hit your attack, you'll do like a bowl move. And if you're running and you hit your jump, you'll do like a slide on the ground kick.
Which sometimes you have to really do that to break up. Because like a lot of beat 'em ups, sometimes they throw 6 guys at you at one time.
So you do start with 3 lives, and on easy mode, which I don't know if you're on easy or normal. Easy you have 3 continues, normal you have 4 continues, and hard you have 5 continues. But
They give you more continues.
the harder the game is.
Huh.
Yeah, it's weird. It's kind of
Never knew
counterintuitive
that.
to what you usually know. Pizza, it's health. Here comes Baxter.
Yeah. So I don't remember exactly his pattern.
He shoots the piss out of you, I know that. You just gotta kind of get the cheeky jump kick in now and then wait till it hits the ground and beat the piss out of him. I can't remember. I think he has like a second.
Yeah, now it is.
Yeah, the grabby hand thing, the second phase.
And then when he's on the ground, he punches. And then when he hits somebody, he laughs about it. Blows up.
Big Apple clear.
The game, in my opinion, doesn't actually get difficult
Alley cat food.
until I think it's the 4th level.
Technodrome? Or is
No.
that the elevator?
No, that's the level where you go back to like dinosaur times. That level with Slash is the
So
boss.
it's after the Technodrome,
Yeah.
the first run.
Oh, they have an idle animation.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put some pretty good effort, and then when you dick around, April O'Neil pops out like, "Come on, guys, get to work." You know, one of the things that's impressive is, even though I remember April O'Neil was kind of like the dumb character, like at least they didn't Megan Fox her. Like, I mean, think about it. Think of all the cartoons, dude, and how they treated the women characters. They put April O'Neil in like the least flattering, like frumpiest jumpsuit on the planet. Like, she's not wearing a chainmail bikini or anything.
Yeah. She's no Chitara.
No, yeah.
Think about how many furries Chitara made.
Is that a ladder?
You can't. I was about to ask Little Joe if he even knew what I was talking about.
Chitara? Probably
no
not.
idea who
Yeah,
Chitara is.
Thundercat.
You know what furries are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that he's got all.
They're a thing everybody knows about, right?
Sadly.
Sadly. Come on. Everybody likes mascots.
The Mousers. Or no, those aren't the Mousers, are they?
No. Mousers were the
Little
these
2
guys.
feet guys with the beaky heads.
Those look like the security bots from Wall-E.
From Wall-E. This is your choke. I'm shocked he's down here still. I guess it's just days where he's following him down the stairs.
Yeah, keep an eye on me.
As soon as you get up
Not
to leave,
even great.
he'll freak out.
Of course, you haven't let me get a single
Pizza box.
pizza box.
Grab a pizza box then.
These guys, man. Yeah, that lasso movie.
So, now Joey has seen... Have you seen the old ones?
The old ones are like,
Yeah, it's like the crazy special. No, I was trying to direct that, Joey. Have you seen the old Ninja Turtles movies?
Not the movies, I have seen the cartoon. Not a lot of the cartoon.
I said I'm gonna do this, but yes. But,
Now, don't fall down the stupid sewer drain, although it is funny when you do. If I remember, it like leaves your eyeballs up in the air for a second, and then you like speech bubble pops up. It's like, hey, it's dark down here.
The typical
Yeah.
cartoon thing.
before we get too far off the topic of the original Ninja Turtles movies,
Metalhead.
did you see the eBay auction for the Donatello suit?
No.
It was not kept in any kind of climate-controlled area, so it, like all of the latex around the mouth had peeled back. Jump. And it jumps around, and then it will. So the latex had peeled like off of his.
This is for
What?
the
What hard?
the movie suit.
Yes. So it peeled back around his mouth, and it is the most frightening thing I've ever seen. It is just absolute, and it's like all cracked and blistered, and just looks just horrendous. Oh yeah.
It's too bad.
But it was probably, like $4,000 cheaper than what you'd pay if it was in good condition.
So that's something worth saying. Now, have you seen the new Ninja Turtle movies, Dave?
I have not. Yeah, I haven't seen any amount that matters.
I have seen every one of them at some point in time or another.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people complained
Is that just
it's the alien.
Oh, so it's level 5 is the prehistoric. Yeah, this is the sewer surfing. This one's
Yeah.
sweet.
This is the obligatory like
There's 2 of these.
Battletoads level.
There's 2 of these. There's one in the future.
So the original Turtles was obviously done. Shoot, when did that movie come out? You think like early '90s?
Yeah, 94 is what I want to say.
But all of its effects were practical effects. Like it was dudes in suits, and stuntmen and everything else. Whereas obviously the newer Turtles movies were all CG'd. And that's fine.
Michael Bay.
Yeah, very much Michael Bay. And a lot of people really didn't like the new movies. Partly because they gave the Turtles nostrils, which looked really freaking weird. But if you can get past the nostrils, it's not as bad as you think. I like that animation right there.
Yeah.
They really went to work on the animation.
How do I?
It was so hard.
Yeah, jump, man, jump. Don't stay.
And watch out for these dudes.
There's the aliens.
The pizza aliens. The episode that they're from.
They came to Earth for pizza.
It was I can't remember the circumstances, but they put the eggs on pizza and then they hatched. And in the not the newest Ninja Turtles cartoon, there's a pizza box coming up. Go.
Oh,
You missed. That's alright, leveled up apparently.
In the newest series, they actually had something similar. There were squirrels, though.
Pizza alien boss.
Rat King.
Oh, I forgot about Rat King.
On a toy that was, or a vehicle that was actually sold. So you want to be in the middle, and then every once in a while you'll see a spark, and then it shoots out of that middle thing. And he also does this.
Stay the hell
If
away.
you stay to the top or the very bottom, those can't hit you. But the missiles. Watch out.
Yeah, I do remember the speeder toy.
It's sweet. It is one of the coolest looking vehicles that was probably in one episode of any show.
I don't know, G.I. Joe had a lot of bonkers vehicles.
Oh man. It's a good level. It's really not difficult until the end.
Bunga. So, there's the Technodrome. That was such a weird choice for a vehicle.
The giant eyeball on the top.
Is that Razor?
Toka and Razor are the first boss, and then Shredder's directly after that. Maybe, man, I'm not remember.
So,
Ordered this, I guess.
you haven't seen the new movies, and I will recommend the second movie just for this. They did a really solid CGI job on Rocksteady and Bebop.
And they are probably two of my favorite characters from the whole franchise.
Absolutely, and they looked really good in that movie.
I did the throw thing.
You do it more on accident than on purpose. That's
Yeah,
the
you
worst
do.
part about it. It's like when we get to the boss that you have to have it in order to do it. It is, oh man.
So at the boss level, Shredder's like up here on the screen with us from our point of view. And to do damage to him, you have to throw the foot soldiers at him.
Which is a pretty cool boss. Like,
Yeah, it's a very cool concept. There's the
Mousers.
Mousers. Yeah, it's a very cool concept. It's hard as hell to do. I mean, supposedly when you're next to him, you just tap your button and you throw him. You know, let me look at the controls. Bashing on asphalt. Yeah, so to fling the Foot Clan, carefully move towards either side of the enemy and press the Y button while holding down the control pad.
holding down on the control pad?
It just says holding down the control pad, so I don't know if that means while you're moving towards them or what. But
and maybe that is these guys.
I like the different levels of Foot Clan too.
Well,
I don't. Did they ever have different colored suits in the show?
No.
I was like, I only ever remember purple.
Yeah. Well, maybe it is down and.
Is it down?
I've been trying to do it. I've been successful. It's towards him. Here's. You have to fight both of them at the same time.
Now, I can't remember which was Toto the snapping turtle.
Yes.
And what the hell was Razor?
A wolf or a dog. I think he was like a German
dog.
shepherd.
I was trying to get out of the stupid laser gate,
No, you didn't.
and I hit it twice. Once going in and once on the way out. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Just try and focus on Razor. He's almost dead. That'd be a lot easier with only one of them. There we go.
Oh yeah, there he turned back into a little puppy dog.
Do you remember how they beat him in the movie?
No.
Like put like anti-mutagen in donuts.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. The old movies were pretty campy, I guess.
Oh.
Would be the word to use.
I guess I've lost.
You have died.
You
You
were
may
using it
continue.
continue.
It said select. It's
Well, you
like
could-
it's pause.
You could have changed turtle.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you wanted to switch to Raphael or
The elevator. This is the
Well,
thing
I
I always
thought-
do.
yeah, it's like I'm only missing two. But yeah.
This is the obligatory elevator beat 'em up.
It seems like almost all of them have.
Yeah, they all like since the original Nintendo, like every beat 'em up had an elevator level and a racing level of some kind.
Yeah.
So like speeder bikes for Battletoads, or the motorcycles for Contra, and then this one had the hoverboards.
Isn't there one where you're on a plane? Or like the wing of a plane?
I don't remember, but they all had it. Every beat 'em up had it.
Yeah.
I remember the Masters being my favorite enemy, just 'cause I liked the look of them. In the cartoons, they were.
Do you have a favorite villain, like specific villain from the show?
No, probably not. I like Baxter just because he could fly.
Yeah. The like mutant fly man is pretty sweet.
Yeah, sure. Toto soup. See, he's up here from our point of view, and you gotta throw dudes.
Yeah,
at
stay
him.
on the crosshairs, as you can guess, and also from the right and left, there's a claw that electrocutes you. So you can just avoid those.
How do you throw them?
You got to get up real close into them.
And then press your attack
Yeah.
while moving forward.
Like I said,
There
you
you
do
go.
it
I
more.
got one.
You do it more on accident than you do on purpose.
Yeah, you do, for sure.
It's bad when you're like trying to throw one and then he like targets you. And then keeps shooting you.
It is not easy to do. It is a
Got it.
really interesting mechanic to beat
got
the
another
boss. Oh, Joey's got it down. Machine gun.
Slice that dude.
It's also hard when it keeps moving
Yeah, and he blocks half the damn screen.
when you try and avoid the.
Got another one.
Yeah, you got him, and now you get teleported to the past first.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you work your way forward in time.
You can jump into the time warp. I'm banishing you to the. You'll never return. Now, isn't the time warp? Isn't that where they ended up meeting Usagi Yojimbo at some point?
I don't. It's different in the comic books and different in the movies.
Very
and
much
different,
so, yeah.
Or different, not the movie, the show, in each version of the show. Because
Well, first off, the comic books were way more violent. Like the original comics were done in black and white.
Eastman and Laird
And
comics are.
Ninja Turtles were actual ninjas, like murdering ninjas. Exploding rocks.
Oh, watch out.
I tried to jump, and I guess I got into the rush before I was able to jump, so it's back then instead.
I just really like how you get sent back in time and there's just foot soldiers like it.
Well, I mean, you know.
But I think think this is the first level where you see the rock people, which are just real hard. They're as
Yes,
far
they
as
are
just like,
rock.
yeah, they're more difficult. Master the English language. Yeah, they are so annoying. It's like, and they're not even that difficult. You just end up swinging at them so much more. Here's the rock guys.
Ooh, a battle axe.
Oh yeah. And they do like the classic cartoon, like they swing at you and then it gets stuck in the ground, and then they try and pull it out. It's you. Yeah, it's so good. The rock guys also charge. Say it as I
Club by
love the ones. Yeah.
I'm dead.
Oh,
Shell shock. It also is great that everyone just explodes when you kill them.
well, that was something. In the cartoon, weren't the foot soldiers all robots?
Yeah. I mean, it's the G.I. Joe thing. It's like,
Yeah. You
you
can't
can
kill
have-
actual people.
right, you could have gun violence.
As long as there's no blood and no one actually dies.
Right, right. As long as everything that is destroyed is a robot, you can have pretty violent cartoons for kids.
Which is why Transformers was awesome.
Oh man,
I remember Transformers movie, Jesus, they killed everybody.
that was something. Dare to be stupid.
Yeah, I really don't remember the Ninja Turtle movies, the original ones. The first one I know was Shredder. It introduced Casey Jones, who crushed Shredder in a freaking garbage truck.
Right.
And that was funny too, because I remember that as like real casual murder.
Yeah.
Like, Shredder gets tossed in the garbage truck, and Casey Jones is like, what's this do? Just destroys, and I'm like, what the hell?
Well, it goes in line with that whole like, they're bad guys, so it's okay if
Yeah.
you kill them on screen in a children's movie.
And they should be killed.
What's the first Ninja Turtles movie? I need it.
Oh,
Oh, are
I'm
you
sorry.
kidding me? Man,
You
what
took the
team
pizza
player.
again?
You said it right as I touched it.
The first Ninja Turtles movie is actually like considerably darker
Yeah.
than the second and the third. The third one is like a real joke.
Now, the third one was the one where they went back in time, wasn't it?
Oh man.
What the hell was the second one? 'Cause I don't even remember that.
Toto and Razor with Super Shredder.
Oh, with Vanilla Ice.
Yes. Yeah. So the first one is
Yes.
like, I'm not gonna say it's as good as, but the first Batman movie,
Yeah.
like I feel like they have a very similar tone. This boss is pretty difficult. Slash evil turtle. Yeah, he's a snapping turtle who is the same as Toka, but you know, Toka wasn't in the cartoon. He was in the second movie.
That's those buttons.
I do like it that in this game, when you hit a boss, like you can get him into like where
The
they're
stun lock almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that, like, you guys get him going, he can't do anything, you almost stun lock him there and beat on him.
They give you a second or two depending on the boss, but like some beat 'em ups, like they're not phased by being
No.
hit.
Yeah, not at all.
So you gotta like stick and move the entire fight, and that is real hard.
I just got called. I'm not entirely sure by who.
Yeah, who would call you? Both your parents.
I mean, it's a fair point. No one calls me. I don't like calling. Oh man.
That's true. You are part of this new generation that
Does not like to talk to
has
people.
never talked on the phone.
It's. I don't like like it.
Phones are for
It's
texting and Snapchat, Dave.
Yeah, if I want to talk to someone, I'll talk to them in real life. At some
How
point, I will
old-fashioned.
eventually meet them.
Oh no! I was trying to make it through without
if it's
losing a life.
something urgent, like
Go there and beat him.
I will call them. Like I got.
Oh my
home
gosh,
today, and
he's
I-
so much
neither
harder
of
at this
you were home,
point.
And I texted mom and she didn't respond, so I ended up calling her. So like, eventually.
Just beating the hell out of you with 1 health, man.
Oh my gosh.
He's almost gone through my entire third continue.
There we go.
Yeah, I think you guys share continues, by the
We
way.
do.
Which
That's-
means you're done.
Yeah.
Because Dave had to use one too, finally.
But he, in my opinion, is the hardest boss other than Super Shredder at the end.
So you've defeated prehistoric era.
Now it's Pirates, I think? Which, it better be Pirates. Yes. This level's so sweet. And the boss is Bebop and Rocksteady as Pirates.
Nice. The levels are pretty short, really.
Yeah. And they're also all themed, like you don't play in the same map.
Yeah.
Which,
It's not all New York City. It's
oh god.
all
Oh,
over
man.
the place.
Almost all the beat 'em ups are like that.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to New York. Where are you at? New York.
Dirty streets.
Yeah. Crappy pieces of New York.
Or maybe it's Tokyo in the
Yeah.
Double Dragon. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a fun game because you get to change the color palettes a lot.
Before we go any farther, those like hinge looking things on boards, don't step on them. The board will come up and hit you in the face. Which is nice and fun and cartoony.
I was about to say, I
but-
kind of want to see that just to see the animation.
Hey, you got full life. Go ahead.
Get yourself out.
I have 1 life left. I'm on my last one.
Well, you got.
Yeah, you probably don't want to waste your life then.
I'll do it then.
I'll do it then.
Just so everyone gets the full experience. Oh,
And then you
get
walk
to
in.
it.
He's dead. So how come the foot soldiers don't activate the doors?
Light feet. Ninja
Yes.
feet.
That's the best. That's the game cheating right there. Game cheats.
How often do monsters trip the traps in the dungeons?
He has a good point there.
Who do you think put them traps
That
there?
is firing some massive cannonballs.
That aren't just like hurting the ship at all.
They just bounce across the deck.
Go this way.
It's a bunch of, like, it's the size of the wrecking balls in the first level.
Right, same sprites.
Yeah, it's clearly, just a double usage of that sprite.
And the ship is obviously made of,
Iron.
adamantium. No, because if it was
Don't
iron,
touch
it'd
that.
Still leave,
No,
Yeah,
like
wait
that.
until guys show up on screen to hit it. There you go. Now go get it.
Once we do go
Wait.
on.
Whee!
Doesn't last very long.
Yeah, but I think it kills them pretty much instantly.
Yep. Oh, that's what the yellow ninja does.
Bombardier ninja.
They reuse guns. Also, I don't think green ninjas do anything other than shoot bows, which is pretty funny that they got guys with like old-fashioned bombs.
Who bomb each other.
We got a few more dudes. And
Whoa.
Yeah, that dude's throwing
the
like
yo-yo.
Yeah.
It's like the Master of the Flying Guillotine thing, which is a movie everyone should see if you like. Help me while I got ninja starred.
I was gonna say it was Dr. Yang from Mystical Ninja.
Oh yeah. But
But now they've got
bazooks.
guns. God, they're
Looks
packing
oddly
heat.
like a potato gun.
At least they don't shoot you from off screen.
Oh,
Like I remember Final Fight, they did
check
that.
this out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
One's got a whip.
So once again, it's usually best to just go ahead and
Take
focus
one of
fire.
them out.
But they're both not super. Although we're both
Last life.
fuse who.
So you can hit him until he does this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I got PC.
or maybe you're in enough points, or maybe you do each get 3 continues. In which case, you've got another one still. I think Joey's on the last one, though.
Yikes. Well, I didn't change it to easy, so it should be normal.
So you should have 4 continues. In that case, you might still be out.
There we go.
Kill them both at once.
They're not as hard as Toto and Rays are. And
I had
they're
1 health left. That was very
nice
close.
timing. That's the great thing about this. You also refill your health at the end of every level. It's nice.
Super necessary.
Absolutely. This level also great.
Steam Train!
Not as cool as this pirate ship, but Leatherhead, the Creole
Super
crocodile.
alligator, yeah.
Oh man.
I'll make trail gumbo at y'all!
Oh man, so many ridiculous over the top characters.
That's what made the show good, though.
For sure.
And I will say I have not watched the new
Can I
cartoon.
walk over that? Or
The newest one
Yeah.
or the like CGI one?
Yeah,
That was I mean, it was in between. So actually no, there's been
there's a couple
4
series I've
cartoons?
missed, I'm sure.
There's been 4 cartoons and then the live action show, which was cool.
Live action?
Oh man, that's when they introduced the 5th female Ninja Turtle.
Oh,
Which it's not that character's fault for how bad it was.
Venus de Milo. Didn't they introduce... I think she was in one of the movies.
Maybe she was in the 3rd one.
I think she was in the 3rd movie.
I don't remember the 3rd one particularly well, other than me even as a small kid thinking it was terrible.
Yeah, well, there's that. No, I was speaking about the most recent one I remember seeing anything about is the one they put on Nickelodeon.
Oh, but they've both been on Nickelodeon.
That wasn't. But it was an animated Ninja Turtles. But Baxter Stockman was like a nerdy dude and did not get turned into a. I don't know, maybe he wasn't a nerdy dude. I can't remember.
The current one is, I mean, it's diverges quite a bit from
Yeah.
like traditional Ninja Turtle stuff, but I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Each turtle is actually a different species of turtle, so they have different characteristics.
Interesting.
And like Raphael is huge, like he is almost double the size of Michelangelo. Actually, he's probably more than
Like
that.
beef turtle.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And Raphael's also the leader instead of Leonardo.
Really?
But it's like real fast paced. The episodes don't seem like they last very long. A lot more action, witty dialogue, snappy lines. But the CGI one was really good. I've watched them with my son. I've gotten into Ninja Turtles. Donatello's his favorite because he loves purple. If you remember, Joe knows this. Probably no one else. Maybe you know. That I 3D printed a shredder helmet and shoulder pads and the shredder because my son loves Donatello on there. That also explodes. Jeez, these guys.
well, I would assume the body could explode.
One would assume.
Man, these guys do a lot of damage.
Yeah. Well, the bull rush is awful when they come off the screen
Come running in and hit you.
because they move so quick. This is a game that definitely benefits if you
Bazooka.
play it,
I mean, every game's that way to an extent, but yeah.
but knowing like at which frame certain mobs come in, so you can get ready to jump or just move up out of the way.
I like that you can move while attacking. Wow. I dodged
You
the
say
first
watch out
one.
and you still hit it.
I dodged to the first one and
Oh, I say pizza time.
Yeah.
There he is.
So
Oh goody, fresh turtles for lunch.
such a good design.
Look at his face when he gets hit, dude. Like,
Oh.
ow.
It's like, oh man, it's like one of my favorite things about the Joe and Max series.
Yeah,
It's like how goofy they are when they're damaged.
very much. Yeah.
They got that like tear in their eye almost.
Yeah, this dude was very much like a weird
wanted to
rip-off
jump
of
not
Crocodile
sprint.
Dundee.
Oh, except he's Creole instead of Australian.
Yeah, but still, the concept remains the same. I mean, still damn funny. Yeah, you are gonna die, but you know what are you gonna do? Try and not get hit like that right there.
Oh,
I gave you another continue.
For some reason, I always seem to enter sprint right before I jump.
There we go.
Ah! Off the train.
As soon as you enter sprint and then jump, it does not.
Very much shell at wounded knee. That would probably be seen as culturally insensitive today.
I mean, it is referencing a massacre of indigenous people, so, I mean,
Yeah.
fair? Is this the...
Future.
I think, yeah, this is the other race level. Boss is the future Krang.
I don't even remember this. AD 2020.
Yeah.
Look out!
Right.
Next year for president, future Krang.
You'd probably be better off.
I was gonna say, better than the current. Yeah, so this is the weird race where it's going straight forward. It's like Hyperzone.
Oh, man. What a pile of garbage.
By the way,
Oh, no. No, Hyperzone was... I was getting confused with that football game.
Oh,
which
yeah.
one?
The,
No. The first person...
1v1.
The one...
Oh,
football.
Space
Space
football,
football,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, I did some research on that, by the way, on Hyperzone. Remember how it was supposed to have a 3D mode? Well, remember the cheat code
Oh, yeah.
enters into 3D mode? Yeah, we're never going to find a pair of glasses that works for that.
It doesn't need
Ever.
special glasses.
Yeah, it uses shutter glasses, which is a pair of glasses that plugs into the machine that has like shutters on them that separate your eyes. And they never built one for the Super Nintendo. Strangely enough, they did build one for the original NES. It never left Japan. It's so amazing the Nintendo, like the weird stuff Nintendo was doing back then.
The stuff they were really pushing the boundaries on.
Yeah, they were. Well, I mean, that's like, what was it? A handful of years ago, they were doing that whole like cardboard build your own.
They still are.
Are they still doing that? But I'm like, what weird
what
stuff?
is
They were just like, let's
Labo?
do this.
It's awesome.
I've never played with any of it, but
They have one set that actually
here it
builds like
comes.
goggles to make it kind of like a VR set.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
Speaking of VR set, they released
Super
at
Krang.
the Game Awards, they announced a VR version for Untitled Goose Game.
Skyrim.
Untitled Goose Skyrim. That'd be amazing.
No. I was
And I do believe they did announce VR Skyrim as well. But,
because there's only been about 10 versions of Skyrim.
you know, every year, that company releases the same game. And every
people
year,
love it.
people continuously buy it.
Like the only good thing came out of Skyrim for me was Thomas the Tank Engine as the dragon.
Yeah, have you gotten the mod where all the dragons are Randy Macho Man Savage?
No, but
Yes.
that also sounds amazing.
Oh man, it's so good. Like when the dragons are
The
like far away.
first dragon. When
Hey, brother!
You start out. No, you start out like
Yeah.
you start out like in the captive, and you hear the roar, and none of them roar. It's always oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then they come down, and they always roar before they breathe fire. So it's just oh yeah, and then fire everywhere.
It's
Yeah,
so
sounds amazing.
good.
Oh, there's Krang.
Oh man.
The spike, like the characters for them, do not look good because it's like
It's
a picture
and they
of
stretched it
him
over
stretched over the dragon figure.
I have to look that one up.
It is
though.
good.
Yeah,
It is good. Man, we're pretty close to beating this
Yeah,
game.
you guys are powering through it. That's a fact.
Then there is a mod where
Garbage.
Phyllis, the spell that pushes, it's like strong wind, whatever. it pushes like fog out of the way. There's a mod for it where it basically just makes you fart. And that's it.
Nice. I like the calendar on the wall, 80 pointers. Just in case you didn't catch the intro.
Right.
Yeah, look at the face.
How useful is it to have like a digital readout what year it is?
What's your name? Taserface!
Oh man, Taserface.
I can't remember, was that actually his name?
Yeah. Well,
Or was it Laserface or something?
was-
It was dumb as hell.
yeah. And Martin Scorsese says that's not cinema.
I feel very left out from a lot of like conversations because I just know
We're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. You know that, right?
Guardians 2, Taserface.
Those are like legitimately some of the best MCU movies, like top down. Like every part of it is actually good.
I really did like the first Guardians.
Second one was good too. Man, it went a place like if you go in seeing it without spoilers, it goes.
Yeah. It was good, but I think the first one was better.
I don't remember.
I don't know. Look, I got lost at the end where he became the giant Pac-Man.
Oh, that was so good
It,
though.
it was a
Come
good
on.
scene. Like, the CG was great, and it looked awesome, and it was fun, but it was just like, you've jumped the shark a bit.
Oh,
See, I don't remember that.
Really?
Yeah.
But that movie.
That's the second one, right?
Yes.
I vaguely remember him meeting his father in the
Yeah.
second movie. And then they met the ant lady.
Mantis.
Who, yeah.
Not an
made
ant
people
lady.
fun. She had antennas.
I mean, she did, but she was literally named Mantis.
That's also true.
Like, they legit named her after it. Yeah, watch out
What
for
kind
that.
of bug did she remind you of? I don't know. I need it. I don't know.
Dave, give me the pizza!
I had one
Health
HP
bar.
left.
Oh,
Freeze tiles.
Yeah, who would have thought that they would freeze you and not just zap you?
I was gonna say, I feel like they're shocking
It's
tiles,
just
right?
punches you in the back.
Not shocking tiles.
Foot soldiers are a bunch of buttheads.
Well, their point isn't to be chivalrous, it's kill the
Watch out!
turtles.
More wrecking balls. Again, same sprite, different color.
At least they turned these ones green because
And where-
wrecking balls in space. Are
Where did it even come from, too? It was just like in the middle of the hallway randomly.
It fell from the sky. Oh,
No, it's
and they come
seriously,
at.
it's just randomly in the hallway.
Oh, dirty rock.
We get it. We all know what you're gonna say there.
I feel like Samuel L. Jackson's doing
Kill it.
Oh,
Oh, he's
if
sticking
you step
around.
on if you step on the fire, he like holds his foot.
I do.
Crazy laser blasters.
How come the rock dudes, who are easily the most like damaging enemies, that are
Also
common,
get guns.
also get guns? Yeah.
So they
Give
came
the
from-
foot soldiers guns. We have the same one.
Oh, look out! They got chains now that rip literally across half the screen. Oh, you're both of them dead.
Yeah,
Grab that bomb thing. Go.
get those blocky. Oh my gosh, I did not see that. No, oh my god, me twice. Oh.
Watch out! There's more of them.
There's a couple games that I play where the bad guys take damage from the room.
Lord. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
We are at the 10-minute till mark, so we're gonna do the 10-minute review. So, what do you guys think? Graphic representation here.
It looks kind of like a frog.
It does. You look very much like a frog when you get zapped.
Good thing there's not a timer on this.
Yeah, no kidding. What the hell's that one dude? The
I
guy
mean-
holding you back.
I think we need to get like on either side. Oh my god! I'm a gaming
Oh,
master.
more of them. So what do you guys think of how it's presented visually, graphics and everything?
I actually quite like it.
Holds up pretty well.
I think they did really good with all the sprites.
Yeah, the sprite works pretty solid. They do a lot of effort on the different animations and looks and everything. You guys can get hit, your faces make faces, you know. Look out, more rocket launchers! Those look a lot like the guns from Fifth Element.
Oh, the Zorg, like,
Yeah, the Zork guns.
multi-purpose blasters.
I like the...
machine gun.
I like what
rocket
you pointed
launcher.
out. There's a lot of different levels. They change a lot. So you get all these different background areas. The color palettes change. They're very bright. Wow, he bubbles. Oh, and teleports away. Like Shredder in the background too.
He's like cheering along.
Yeah, I think the graphics hold up pretty well. Actually, it's still enjoyable to look at and watch and play. Now, sound. Unfortunately, I mean, between most of the explosions and punches and kicks and everything, you can't hear the music. But the music's pretty good.
Well, the music's the same song the entire time as the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle theme, just 8-bit-ish.
And the boss music is like pretty amped up.
So the sound and music are okay, not super duper duper impressive or anything.
But in a beat 'em
It's
up,
a beat 'em up. What do you expect?
the sound, most of the sound's gonna be
Yeah, and exploding.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
The last one is
Uh,
very annoying.
Now, overall gameplay, I'm not playing it. I have played it. You guys think the gameplay holds up well? It's obviously still pretty difficult.
Yeah. I know I'm not good at it at all, but it's a lot of fun to
Feel
play.
good.
I mean, yeah, you guys are doing fine. You smashed through most of it.
I have also used like twice as many continues as
Well, that's true.
but I haven't used all of them, so that's a
Apparently.
good sign.
Or you've earned extra, I'm not real sure. Got it.
I think it's just Super Shredder now.
Levels our way home. Let's go.
I mean, I'm quite partial to this game. I mean, that's why I'm here. But I feel like what it does different than other beat 'em ups really puts it ahead of the pack.
Yeah. Yep. Technodrome again. Now it's just Shredder. Yep. Super Shredder, the final shell shot.
1992.
Nice.
You were 10.
That's true. Here he goes.
And this
Let's see if you guys can beat
this
the
fight
damn
is
game.
this fight's super hard.
Do you want to save it? Select our save state.
Hold select and hit on. There you go.
And
That's
select is
save
also
state.
the pause button. Why does he go like Super Saiyan?
He's the original Super Saiyan.
Now this was from the second movie, wasn't it? Secret of the Ooze when Shredder
Yeah.
got all pumped up.
When did Dragon Ball come out? Not the show, but like.
Jesus, that comic's been around for a long
I've been
time.
turned
too.
into a small turtle.
Game over.
Game
You are
over.
apparently out of. Good luck, Dave.
I don't even remember when I'm supposed to hit it. That's the thing. It's like I can't hit him then. I don't think we've done damage to him. Maybe then.
When he's
Not
flying,
bad.
maybe.
Is it as he lands? Oh yeah, like after he shoots.
What?
Apparently not.
What?
Can't do anything to him.
Oh my god. And he doesn't even follow like a pattern. It's fire, ice, fire. So I can't jump kick that. Maybe I should jump kick fire.
That was not a jump kick.
Jump attack. Where do we start over, I wonder? Oh. Oh, I had a continue
The
left.
final shell shock.
So I guess if you were still playing, then like it keeps you in the game.
Yeah.
What's it say?
Nothing.
Nothing. Just
basically, yeah.
get good, son.
Pretty much.
Oh man, I will say one thing about this game that, like a lot of other beat 'em ups, replayability isn't great. Like, I mean, once
Yeah.
you beat it, you're like, eh.
Yeah, you're like, I beat it. I'm good.
Man. There we go.
Oh, hey, you got him. How'd you get him?
I hit him at the right time.
That's it. You just got to get him at the right time so he'll stun lock for a second and you can beat him. Yeah, that's it. You just have to get lucky when you hit him.
The fire one's on the ground, ice is in the air. The
Yeah,
green one
it's-
you want to dodge, because if he hits you, he'll turn you into a baby turtle.
Yeah.
You immediately.
Oh, I mean, at least you hit him this time.
The fire one is really nice.
I mean, he hasn't turned you into a turtle, a tiny turtle yet. Only because you've taken, like, knockback and been on the ground and he shoots it.
This is
It's a rough boss fight.
yeah. Like to be close enough to hit him
Yeah.
when he's doing it, and also not get hit. Pretty difficult.
Yeah, you got the Statue of Liberty in the background.
Why did he take that?
Because he's a bad man.
He is a bad man.
It's like glue taking the pyramids of Giza.
And another continues.
Look at them all sticking their heads out. You still had continues left.
Yeah. It must have been
It's
4 each.
quite a
The
few.
final shell shock.
No, because I continued more than 4 times.
Oh, did you?
For sure. So we probably did get extra continues.
Yeah. So what other questions you got?
From what and how many?
You went over sound, graphics.
I mean, that's really it. Gameplay. I mean, gameplay is pretty basic. It's a fighting game. It's nice to give you the options. It's really cool that they did the throw the guys at the screen thing. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, it's a beat 'em up. All the beat 'em ups pretty much operate the same. You broke.
Ah!
I mean, to be fair, it's actually kind of a cool attack.
It is a very cool attack, but it also sucks. So that's it right there. You just gotta jump kick him when he does the fire.
Fire and green are only
You
when
figured it
jump
out.
kick.
You
Yeah,
got the
that's
pattern.
Ice, you do not jump kick because he shoots up.
Well, there's also a possibility that he's going to shift into another mode that I forgot about.
Oh. Ah!
I mean, but that's the one you don't.
Oh, you got this, buddy. Come on. There you go. Nice. Oh, he just falls off.
At least it didn't do one of those ones where it's like, now try it on hard.
Mr. Splinter, I am pressing for such experiments. Lies ahead. Defeat the game on a harder level!
I spoke too soon.
I wonder what the ending is if you beat it on hard. That's some hard pixel graphic right there.
Yeah.
Ooh, then you get the neon. 34 minutes, Jesus. Yeah, that's a pretty short game, really.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I mean, legitimately, it's an hour-long play. Like,
Yeah.
that's a solid game just to sit and
This
play
was only
through.
34 minutes though.
Well, we spent the first 15
Intro
minutes of the time
going
doing
over.
intros, looking at graphics and manual and everything. I mean, that's solid right there, but
And level openings, and then like the tally screens.
Yeah.
Didn't probably time those.
so that's cool. So yeah, Would you recommend this game to play for people? Would you recommend they try and pick it up? You're gonna give it a thumbs up.
I'm gonna give it a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Dave?
Absolutely.
Dave also thumbs up. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 4, Turtles in Time, definitely thumbs up from everybody. It is just a fun, quick playthrough of a game, man. Like, this is the kind of game where you get people, me and Dave's age, get our kids to play it. Just because it's super easy and fun and you beat the hell out of everybody in Ninja. Even though it's not the same Ninja Turtles that our kids are growing up with, you know,
It's
everybody
still Ninja
knows.
Turtles.
Yeah, everybody knows who the Ninja Turtles are. So you're never going to have to be like, well, this is Bucky O'Hare.
No.
You know, Joey has no clue, I'm certain, of who Bucky O'Hare was. But everybody gets Ninja Turtles. So that's it, guys. Thanks a lot for joining us for Ninja Turtles 4. Joey and I are going to get back into BS Zelda, since we missed that last week while I was out of town. And so that's it. Dave, you're welcome to stick around, but I imagine you probably go. But, yeah.
I'll move over a little bit.
So what we got? BS Zelda.
This is another example of cool things that happened in Japan that didn't
Never
happen in
made it.
Japan.
Never made it to America. Yeah, that's the saddest part.
Controllers are needed.
But my question is, out of all the things that didn't make it to America, how did Virtual Boy make it to America? That's what I want to know.
Jesus, Lord only knows,
Wasn't the
dude.
Virtual Boy like the
It was the headset
the
one.
really
I had
heavy,
it.
like console you had to set down somewhere and look into it?
Put it
Yeah.
on a table.
Do you not remember it? I had it for a long time until it finally broke, and then I sold it. Because it's really almost impossible to fix. I can't remember if I prepped this or... Oh, yeah, I did. Hey, sweet. Yeah, dude, this game gives you lives like you wouldn't believe. Just hearts out the wazoo.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
Oh, wait. He gives you your giant bag.
Nice.
All right. I kept all your possessions. Here. Take the giant sack.
I woke up before you did and started looking for us.
Bunch of items.
I do voice it. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
you've watched our other
I have.
Hocus pocus.
I was really curious to see what this Zelda
So
looked
was
like.
I. I was so stoked when I finally got one that worked.
The book of Madara. Couldn't find anything resembling it. It must be lost.
It almost
Find
makes...
it.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I don't want to
I had-
talk over your voice acting. It's pretty great. It almost makes me wish there was like a Diablo-style Zelda where it had like randomly generated dungeons.
I mean, the fact that the dungeons in this one are changed is what makes it awesome.
Right.
Am I going down there? Hell, I
Because
don't even have to use the
that
bird.
was my first thought. I was like, how awesome would it be if they were able to like randomly generate some
Yeah.
Zelda dungeons?
Must be here.
Ah,
So
So why don't you?
Bunk.
my least favorite enemy in the
The
Zelda
Zappy dudes?
Stupid
Yeah.
green jelly.
the like cucumber, shock cucumber.
I mean, that basically is what he is. He's a cucumber.
No shots for the use on tablets.
Alright.
So
Should I find the book with this one?
on the topic of Zelda,
Yeah.
I have been keeping myself from buying Link's Awakening for Switch.
Yeah.
It's on my Christmas list. My family knows about it, so I'm hoping I end up getting it because, man, I played it on original Game Boy and I cannot wait to play it again.
I'm assuming you played Breath of the Wild. Then.
I don't like the 3D Zelda.
Ah.
I know. I get it from a lot of people.
Oh,
What are you doing?
wrong button. Shut up.
I think Skyward Sword, was that the 3D one on the Wii?
Well, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Wind
I know
Waker-
that
Wind
one
Waker
a
was
lot
awesome.
of people did not like.
I know it was GameCube.
Was Wind Waker GameCube?
Yeah. That one is the only 3D Zelda that I played all the way through. All the other ones I couldn't finish, even Majora's Mask, which some people are.
Breath of the Wild, I've played a little bit of it with a couple of my friends. Like, they let me try it on their Switch, and it's fun, but it doesn't really feel like Legend of Zelda per se, like this.
That's interesting.
Do you not have a key?
No, the key was in the other room, but I couldn't get to it. Out of the dungeon and back in, I guess.
Unless there's another way to get in the dungeon, another entrance.
This game is generally pretty straightforward. That's kind of the whole deal about this Zelda is, like, they didn't want to make it insanely difficult because you only had an hour to play it.
Right.
But see, like, there's a key over there.
Boomerang.
Oh, you can throw the boomerang over the wall. Yep. Stupid. I tried hook shotting it. And, yeah, it's just me being dumb right there.
If I was ever going to give any kind of critique for this version of Zelda, Link to the Past in this as well, is the fact that some of the items do almost the same thing and it's confusing.
It is.
Which, like boomerang and hookshot, I mean, that's the prime example. They almost are the same weapon or item.
Although, I gotta say, my favorite part about this one has got to be Link in the baseball cap.
It is a nice touch, for sure.
And one of the things you always have to check.
There's a bombable room.
Yeah, because in this one, for whatever reason, you can't see the cracks in the walls for the secret
I don't know
passages.
who started that phrase. I don't know what voice to give them.
Well, hell, it sure looks like that's the space to come through it.
Yeah.
To use go to some other area, return, and try again.
There it is. Like, that, you have to look at your map. And this game also gives you money. Look how much money I have. 3,500 rupees.
I think one of the
There's one.
playthroughs I watched, it was a room full of just like red rupees, which are
Yeah.
50s, I think, right?
Bonkers amounts.
It's like, what's the point of this?
Well, because there are thieves in the dungeons where you can give them money to basically get powered up weapons for like that dungeon only. So you need a ridiculous amount of money for it. Up we go.
I thought this could have been the first attempt at like in-game purchases where you could buy stuff. You could use the gold and buy new outfits for your character.
So what are the chances this does something?
That's what I was thinking.
Damn it, go down!
Would have been better if you did the
There
top
it is.
left or bottom left one first. I guess.
Or jellyfish or whatever.
One less annoying one in my opinion. So oof, I can't do it. I'm
No,
I'm
sick.
That sounded pretty natural. Sounded like before you got in high school. Before your voice changed.
I don't.
I can't do it.
I don't think I can. My nose is too stuffy.
Uh-oh.
She'll just have to deal with having a normal voice for today. Oh, this here.
Abracadabra.
Abracadabra. I don't know what spell he's cast.
More money!
Unfortunately, I don't know
Is there ever helpful information that they?
No, everything they give you is extraordinarily obvious.
Yeah.
And last week's, I guess technically not last week's for us, but
Look at that.
the last one we did, like, he finished it way earlier, and the scrolling text was still going after he was out of the dungeon and had already finished it. And it was giving hints on how to beat the boss. It's like, use the hookshot to grab the boss's, add-ons and kill them.
What?
The only playthrough I watched you guys do, the dungeon boss, was an exact version from.
Yeah, I mean the bosses are just straight from Link to the Past.
They are.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you'd seen any that hadn't been.
No, they are just straight reps. But they're just the dungeons are different and everything's a little different, which is nice. It's just fun to be back in the world,
Doing something different.
Yeah.
It's like DLC.
It is. It's very much. See, here's the thief.
You know, when I first played this game growing up, I thought it was hair. I thought it was a woman,
Sure.
not a hat.
Carry all the bombs.
What?
Thanks, buddy.
Go back. Just so I seem less crazy. I thought when I was little playing this that it was hair and not a hat.
Also, there's
yeah.
a bombable wall up, I'm pretty sure.
No. Is there? No, I think you just gotta go. Yeah, I think you just take off. Ah!
Sure.
Ah!
Looks like a normal book. Where is it? They can't find the book anymore.
So the problem with that scrolling text at the bottom of the screen, so that didn't let me up, huh?
Nope, you have to fall through the hole.
Shit.
Push a block.
Oh yeah, I had to
You
push
need
a
it for the
block
Switch.
down. Yeah, dope. Good call. Good call.
Oh wait, that's not Zelda's voice.
Uh,
Have
so
you found the book?
originally, obviously, this was broadcasting, so there was someone reading that script to you, which means it would have gotten through a lot faster than us reading it, you know. But they can't do that at this point because what?
That's crazy.
It's your golden bee. It's back for some reason. I would use one of your things and catch it.
Ah,
Oh, it has to be a
yeah,
certain
yeah.
block.
You have to push the bottom left
You
block.
lost the bee.
Well, you know what? The bee's gone.
Queen bee. Just push them all in.
It's that one.
It's back. Man, how crazy would that be?
Yeah, the bee's awesome. He just kills everything for you. Let him go.
So I know you're sticking to Super Nintendo games.
Yeah.
Are there any Genesis games that you're thinking about throwing in there?
I mean, we did play a couple Genesis games during our 24-hour stream.
I am missing like half the dialogue.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm not paying
Go
attention.
get him, B.
Because I think the Ninja Turtles fighting game was on Genesis.
No, it's on this one too.
Is it really?
I have it, yeah.
Like Street Fighter style?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not nearly as good, though. Because, I mean, how would you?
It's honestly unfair to
Compare anything to Street Fighter.
especially like early fighting games.
Yeah, they were not.
You keep trying to hit the bee.
I do.
It's just out of reflex, isn't it?
It is. That bee is awesome, though. Look at him go. Give me my prize. Power glove!
It does a lot of this kind of thing where it's like the magic shop has made a gold potion and then it goes through what the gold potion does even though they've already said it many times.
But if somebody's reading that, that's just wild, you know?
Oh, it doesn't get there.
Bomb.
Ah, damn it.
They also always like restate what was just said in case you didn't hear it.
I missed a
So it's
secret
like
there, not
they
that I
have a gold potion in the magic shop, and then Zelda's like, "Did you hear that? They have a gold potion in the magic shop."
Oh, hell.
Which I guess I understand why they do that, but
It's probably just rupees. Oh,
Ooh,
no,
next
no.
sword.
Next sword, that's kind of important. That's also a weird thing. The upgrades are just kind of floating around in this game. I say the bee's got this handled. Don't you worry.
Not here either. I'm a bit tired. Where is it?
Ah!
I need my nap. I haven't had it yet.
Okay, Grandpa.
I'm gonna use Mayor Bar. I need Founderstone tablets.
Murders!
Try.
Bang!
Well, it's was expecting you to have already found a tablet.
I'm working on it. Here I come, sucker.
Oh, is it the snakes?
I mean, does it matter?
Ah, it's a good boss.
Oh.
Mr. Golden Bee's gonna jump these.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if the bee actually can hit him or not.
It looked like it did. Maybe that was-
I don't think he is. I think that's me.
Oh, Seer, do you know where the Book of Medora is yet? The Seer just
I forgot how sweet
All of this was?
the boss
The
is.
sword is so much larger.
Yeah, look at how long that one is. When he swings it,
That's a good reach.
yeah, it is. I think that's bigger than the one in the actual Link to the Past. It sure feels like it
It
is.
also doesn't make your sword red.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
Once you get it tempered by the
the
SNES.
bee is gone. The Seer says that.
The bee must have been one of the power-ups. So yeah, every time, there's always like some weird thing that happens in every dungeon. So the seer will be like, oh, you're going to get powerful, or you're raining, you can't use your special attacks, and things like that.
Huh.
When it rains, you can't use bombs.
The
That's
bee
it.
attracted by the monsters has left.
Yeah. There's a tabby. And every week, so it was designed in 4 weeks, so every week is like 2 dungeons. So we're on the 5th and 6th tablet in this one, and then next week, presumably, I should defeat the game. Now I gotta go.
That was a short dungeon.
Yeah, everything's short, dude, because it's supposed to be defeated in a week. Come get me, bird. Bird. Oh, I guess just drop me right there, yeah. Thanks.
Just on the other side of these rocks, please. So the overworld is exactly the same.
Yes.
We
Like
don't have access to the entire like top portion though.
Yeah,
Well,
when we
I guess
first
we don't have
started
access
it.
to Death Mountain yet. That's pretty much it. Because we have access to Zora's Domain and the Lost Woods.
When we first started it, like half the map was covered in clouds,
Huh.
and you just didn't even have access to all of it until it decided to let you, you know.
Ooh, nice.
Another heart. Look at it. Yeah. That's one of the things I noticed when we started the game. It started you with like 5 hearts. I was like, what? And then it just poops hearts at you.
I don't suppose you found it, have you?
I'm working on it.
Oh, she's talking to the seer.
It must be in the next dungeon. It's the only thing that makes sense.
I thought the reference of
Seer, it seems as if
Mario.
they used
God damn
King's
it.
accomplice number.
Get off of me!
You have infinite bombs now. That's the kind of stuff it does, though. It's like, hey, now you have access to infinite bombs for, like, the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's weird.
Similarly, in the first game, it gave us access to all, like, 20 hearts for, like, 3 minutes where
Yeah.
we weren't in combat.
Okay, I don't know what the hell I'm doing in this dungeon.
Is that so? Did you hear that, Hero of Light? Beware.
Got a lot of bombs.
Beamos. Alright, that's useful.
Found the map, found the map.
On the map, on the map, on the map. On the map.
No, where's the priest? He wants to be here at the castle.
How many characters are there?
4.
A number of them. Yeah.
Zelda, Agana, the Seer, and the Soldier. That's it, I think. Because I don't voice the text box that are like in-game.
I wonder if there's...
Gosh, whack in the Book of Medora be? I've searched.
More money.
I wonder if there's a recording of these.
Nope.
I mean, there might be, but it's not in
It'd be
English.
Japanese, yeah.
Yeah, not only would it be in Japanese, but it wouldn't be with the game. Like, it would have had to have been recorded on like a VHS or something. I thought there was a door there.
There is.
Sure looks like there is.
Huh.
That or I have to go outside, which is pretty likely. Okay, I guess, yeah.
Oh? I don't know who said that. Oh my gosh, there's a new character, the priest. What voice should I give him?
So do it like a nasally one, like that. Like
Marriage! Marriage is what brings us together.
Help! Come quickly! I'm at the Southern Lake. That quickly became King Candy.
King Candy!
Come quickly! I'm at the Southern Lake.
Turbotastic!
King Candy.
Jesus. There's 3 freaking caves
It's
up here.
the middle one.
I mean, is it?
Yeah, I think so. Princess Zelda.
Good lord.
There's a sale at the magic shop. Of the utmost importance. Oh, I guess you don't go.
Oh, there we go.
What do you do?
I'll say sometimes you can walk through those spaces.
Oh my, amazing. Oh, everything's at half price. Wow.
It's the greatest sale ever.
with these prices, he should be institutionalized. He's just crazy.
You can get there quickly using the ocarina.
Bugger off, lady.
do you want your gold potion? That's
I don't know, it's just
probably not there anymore.
Check under that pot, see if there's a switch. Oh, but is it one you gotta hold down? Nope. Dang.
The game's pretty good about making the dungeons awfully linear.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a teleporter.
You gotta jump in some pots. That's what I'm talking about. Oh my god.
Oh, this looks like a pain.
These are definitely the kind of rooms that I dread. That's right. Teaching who's boss. Is it open?
Might as well go up first. See what's here. The Black Wizards for Final Fantasy.
I was just thinking that.
They changed colors now on this one. Because they originally were wearing the blue, like, clothes.
Yeah. What? Wait, was that in Final Fantasy they were blue?
Yes, and in Link to the Past they were blue, I'm pretty sure. And look at that, Alakazam. I vaguely remember because they were like the most difficult character for me to kill because I was stuck in a dungeon killing them for a very long time. The bombs went back to normal.
The one that got me was those hands.
Oh, the hand.
God.
The handos that come down from the ceiling and take you back to the
You
beginning
can
of the damn
you
dungeon.
can kill them, but what does it do?
Yeah, they
Nothing.
just come
They
back.
come back. Is it so?
Ochre jelly.
Hero of light. Your bombs are back to normal. Pay
You
attention to
don't
how many
say.
bombs you have left.
Shut up. I got 40, Jesus. Yeah, the game's super... Wow, that's
real crazy.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
that's kind of clever. I like that.
Try being hard with that one. They're like, what up? Mr. Key. Oh, you bastards. Yeah, I missed. Oh my god. So many
There
rubies.
might be a secret chest that doesn't appear until you kill that.
Or has a million more rupees.
Yeah.
Well, off we go.
Bet you that skeleton there has a key.
Maybe you gotta kill him with arrows
What's about?
with a bow. Throw the bow at him.
You kill him with a bow?
With arrows, yeah.
Hey, look, there's a key. Good call. Go away.
Well, when I first saw you guys were playing this on one of the streams, at first I thought this was like a fan-made game.
Nope.
Like that Mario.
Kaiser Mario.
Yeah. Does that bring back terrible memories for you?
Yeah, because Trey save stated it like a
And ruined
tiny
it.
bit too late.
And now you die
So we
every
have to
time you
restart
start
that
it.
level again.
It's a rough
the-
go.
The second time we've restarted that level.
That's the thing about that, is like, not only do you have to make crazy jumps, but you also have to do it at a certain time limit. And like, there's certain things that happen only. I don't know. Everything's about timing.
Yeah.
It's not a game that I ever.
It is not the hardest platformer game I've played. So,
What? What's harder than that?
it's called Bloody Trapland. It is
Oh.
so ridiculously difficult. It's basically like a Kaizo version of Kaizo.
Huzzah!
Princess Zelda. Have you seen something? You know, that's a new boss, isn't it?
Nope.
I don't
I
remember.
smoked him in 3 shots.
Anyway, Bloody Trapland. We played it a bit last night, me and my friend Matt. And we got to the very, like, there was a bottom level and there's a teleporter at the bottom right, and it brings you up to the bottom left, and you have to go through that entire top section. There's a button, and the button unlocks a laser. There's the door that you have to get to the next level through. And he got all the way through everything, which it's a bunch of timing stuff, got to the button, hit the button, and a block that was part of the wall came out and killed him.
Yeah, so see, at this point, every time you come in, it automatically highlights the next dungeon. So there's not one highlighted. Death Mountain's covered by clouds. It's the only place we haven't been. It's clearly what week 4 is going to be.
Death Mountain's probably going to be, well, it's probably going to be Death Mountain and then the Mirror World.
And I don't even know if they're going to do Mirror World, frankly. But yeah,
I
that's...
don't know. Where's the other dungeon then? Because there's only one dungeon on Death Mountain, isn't there?
I mean, Tower of Hera, but... I don't know.
Theoretically, it could be any dungeon is in an opening.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, some of the... Like, the swamp area down south that I just went into wasn't originally
I
a
guess,
dungeon.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
So
just
maybe
that...
it's a cave.
Yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much it, unfortunately. I mean, you just get to wander around the world for another... Crap, I went through those dungeons super fast, like half hour.
Yeah.
But it is a really interesting concept. I wish I could get some of the other games to work, but I haven't had any luck. Some of the other stuff they did is they did Kirby's Dream Course, but it was the original build for it, so it wasn't Kirby.
Huh.
It was just like people golfing.
Oh.
Yeah, Joey's like, what? He loves Dream Course. They did Excite Bike, but with Mario, so it was all the Mario
Oh,
characters riding
man.
Excite Bikes.
So was that before Mario Kart or after?
Before. Probably after, actually. Because the Satellaview, I think, was between like 94 and 96. Actually, I think Satellaview ran past the time they produced Nintendo. I think they kept running until like 98 or 2000, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, Nintendo, we learned this kind of early in, is Nintendo had this weird build structure where it's like, they kept producing crap for the system long after
Oh,
the system
yeah.
stopped. So like, the last actual Nintendo game came out in like 1992.
What's
Like 5 years into the freaking Super Nintendo's life.
Breath of the Wild?
Yeah,
Was
well,
released on Wii U
yeah.
and Switch.
It was a DS, or yeah, it was a Game Boy Color game.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Breath of the Wild?
No.
Oh, no, not Breath
You're
of the
talking
Wild.
about Link's Awakening.
Yeah, I'm thinking Link's Awakening, sorry.
Breath of the Wild could not have
Yeah,
run
no.
on a Game Boy Color.
Yeah, I was thinking Link's Awakening. My bad. Yeah, I did not play Breath of the Wild. But yeah, and then Super Nintendo. You know, the N64 came out in like '95, I think, and Super Nintendo kept getting games until '96. Like, and they've just always done that. Nintendo's just like, well, we're gonna continue pushing games out for another year or two after we stop
Yeah.
making the system, basically, which is neat.
Anybody who talks trash about Nintendo has no place in my life.
You don't need that negativity.
I don't.
Nintendo is better than Xbox and PlayStation, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well,
And speaking of Xbox, have you seen the new Xbox console?
No.
The computer.
It's a fridge. It's a mini fridge, is what it
Alright.
is.
It's
Look.
it's a big CPU tower. Like it's just they're not even pretending it's not a computer. It's just a computer.
Here's the thing. PlayStation wouldn't exist without Nintendo,
Right.
and Xbox wouldn't exist without Sega.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo partnered with Sony to build a CD peripheral for the Super Nintendo. And when they canceled that project, Sony went, well, we've already got this.
Right.
Let's see what we can do with it. Bam, PlayStation. And Microsoft built the operating system for the Sega Dreamcast. And then Sega Dreamcast bombed because they lost the console war. And Microsoft went, well, we've got this operating system. What can we do with it? And they crapped out the Xbox. So it's weird that, two of arguably, well, I mean, two other largest video game manufacturers other than Nintendo came about because of the screw ups of the other companies.
Yeah.
It's just interesting to
I
go
mean,
back.
I wouldn't say screw ups. I think PlayStation exists because the generation of our generation that grew up with the NES and Super Nintendo, we were old enough that the N64 was like kid games.
Yeah.
And we wanted something
More
real, more graphic, more gritty.
Yeah.
And Twisted Metal was like the siren song of that.
Yeah, I like Twisted Metal, don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed the 64 though. They had some really great platformers on there. From Super Mario,
Absolutely.
Banjo-Kazooie, Donkey Kong, all great.
Turok.
Yeah, Turok the Dinosaur Hunter.
That-
One of the
that's
interesting things,
Such a good game.
I would love to get a hold of one. I'm never going to pay the money for it. So,
You say that now.
there are actually like two or three, I think, Super Nintendo CD-ROMs out there. They exist in prototype form. But they actually finished and put for sale the disc drive for the N64. Never came to America, Japan only, but it exists.
Right.
And there are games for it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's cool that it's even there. I mean, it's just interesting going back to the old consoles, seeing what they did with the peripheral stuff. Like,
Right.
you remember Sega?
The
And then
3DX?
Has Sega
no,
made-
but like
Oh.
there was the Sega, and then they had the Sega CD, which connected to the
Yeah,
Sega, and then they had the 32X, which was like the mushroom head that goes in the
Right,
top,
right.
and then the CDX, which was like everything kind of mooshed into one little thing.
Has Sega
And-
done anything recently? Like, I know they make games still, but...
No, they still make games because Nintendo owns their ass.
Okay.
Well,
I was about to
when-
say,
when-
were they bought out by another company? Because
Nintendo.
I don't.
When
There's
Sega's,
no more.
when Sega's owner died, which
Consoles.
I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, but when he passed away, he didn't want to be a console company anymore.
Yeah.
He wanted to be a third-party company that just developed
Games.
games because the competition for consoles is just too high.
Yeah.
And that's
There's
what
no
he wanted.
functional way to be in it at this point.
And Sonic, that IP just pairs so well with
Mario,
I mean,
yeah.
the classic.
Because
pillars
anybody
of-
that knows who Sonic was, or I mean, it was the original console war was
yeah.
Sonic versus Mario. So people are like, well, they just kind of go together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting. There's a really good book. I can't remember who it's written by at the moment, but it's called The Console Wars, and it goes through like all of that stuff and like the history of it and how Sega of America really did not get along with Sega of Japan, and that's what caused a lot of tensions in them.
Yeah.
I think that was something that happened with Nintendo too, where they were, or no, that was one of the things that killed Sega. I think it was the Dreamcast when they were building it. Sega of America and Sega of Japan basically worked with two different companies. So Sega was building their version of it in Japan, and then America had a contract with someone here to do it. And Sega of Japan, parent company, said, no, we're doing this one. And so Sega of America had already signed a contract, so they got sued for like $10.5 million for dumping out of the contract. And it's just like another nail in the coffin of poor Sega. Because the Dreamcast was actually way ahead of its time. Like, it had built-in modem, online play. It was so good.
They could play burn games without any kind of
That-
tinkering.
That is
To the
also
consoles.
part of what killed the system. Was like, from day one, you could just, anybody with a CDR could just copy the games. There was
Yeah.
no piracy protection at all on that system. So it's just like, hey, look, I went to the video store, rented a game, and now all of my friends have it. which was great for us and our friends.
Yeah.
Not so much for
But
Sega.
when the Dreamcast originally launched, it was the quantity that was available was really low.
Yeah.
'Cause I remember them getting the resale market for it was like twice what MSRP was.
Well, and that's one of the things that Sony did so well. Like even if you look at that era, like N64 launched with 2 games, Mario and Pilot Wings. The Dreamcast launched with like 2 or 3 games, and the PlayStation, because they opened it way up to third party, was like, hey, at launch we've got like 30 games to go, and people are like, oh shit, like that's a lot. You know,
and their title launch games weren't Mario.
Yeah.
They were Twisted Metal and Abe's Odyssey, and games that looked
very different and very
Yeah.
interesting.
yeah.
I think Jumpin' Flash was one of the early ones, which was like that weird sort of 3D platform world. I do remember Oddworld, Twisted Metal. Everybody remembers Twisted.
You got a special power. No one knows what the special power is. Maybe your thing got stronger. I haven't been paying attention.
Yeah.
But when it goes away, it does a weird flashy thing, and the scene is like, the power has disappeared.
Yeah, that's really kind of the info. I mean, I could go around and hunt down rupees
Or heart pieces.
or heart pieces, but it's just so unnecessary. I mean, it's super fun to play in this world again and see things that are different. Like, here I'll go over to Kakariko, and it's actually different. Like,
Is
the
it?
buildings are different.
Huh. I mean, just imagine if this game existed in a way, like came out at a time when people were modding games.
Yeah.
I mean, all the stupid Skyrim stuff that you see.
Well,
I mean, and then not so stupid, awesome Macho Man Race 7 stuff, but
and that's the thing. There is a lot of
So,
mods
yeah, like,
for games like these.
this
Like
building-
Kaizo Mario, they're just in ROMs rather than
yeah, that's true.
that stuff. The closest thing you would get in this like generation, or like when these were made, would be the Game Genie.
I've already sold you a bottle. I want another bottle. Give me a bottle.
Have you tested to see if the chickens attack? in this?
No, I'm sure they do. I mean, they did in Link to the Past.
Yeah.
You had to beat on it for about 5 minutes.
Good on them for making chickens immortal.
Not to mention vengeful.
Yeah.
There's a game that I have called Magicite, and it's a side-scrolling.
There they come!
It's like a side-scrolling dungeon crawler, sort of.
Run away! Oh, the slowdown.
After every level, there is a little village, and if you kill all the chickens, there's a chance that it'll spawn like a giant chicken boss that, like, I have killed once. And every other time I've spawned it, I die to it.
So, I don't remember what building it's in, and I don't even know if it's in this versus if it was in Link to the Past. There is one of the buildings.
Mario painting.
No, one of the buildings, if you pick up a jar, a chicken comes out from under it. And if you hit it with magic powder, it turns into a girl. And it basically says, I've been seeing how you've been mistreating the chickens in town. You shouldn't do that. I don't know if it's in BS Zelda or not. Probably not. Must be something living in the blacksmith's well.
Yeah, you already did that last.
Did I?
Yeah.
Glad you remember that, because I don't.
Oh, you have strong arrows now.
Ooh,
And
strong arrows.
infinite arrows. Yeah,
There's the Mario painting, yeah. So in Link to the Past, I think if you're in... I think you had to be in the Dark World, but 300 rupees dropped out of the painting. If you tugged on it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, way to go, Dave. Way to go. I thought it. Chose not to say
I didn't see
it.
it.
Yeah, you didn't have to.
I really like the music in this game.
It's very relaxing. The music for Link to the Past was really well done. Everything for Link to the Past was really well done in the end.
Legend of Zelda music in general has always been really well done.
They don't screw around with it.
that being said, though, the soundtrack for most of the Mario games has also been very good, especially the N64.
Well, Mario's
soundtrack.
the flagship of the company. He's always going to get good treatment.
But that specifically and Mario Galaxy
Mario Galaxy
have had
is
some
solid.
great music.
Mario Sunshine.
Yeah,
Everybody.
Delfino Plaza.
Everybody forgets Mario Sunshine.
I have Mario Sunshine on my phone. I have many emulators on my phone. I'm in the middle of doing a Pokemon Sapphire.
Oh. I
And-
never played Sapphire. I played Ruby.
All I have to say is that Kyogre sucks comparative to my level 62 Swampert. It was a waste of a Master Ball.
I think the last Pokemon video game I played on any Nintendo system was like Pokemon Yellow for the Game Boy Color.
It's the best RPG series ever.
Oh, you get a lot of people fight with you on that one.
Pokemon is like the only turn-based one that I can stand.
Yeah.
What's
I'll say this is the best RPG ever. That'll piss some people off.
BS Zelda specifically?
No, just any of the Legend of Zeldas. Because they're like, Legend of Zelda's not actually an RPG, it's an action-adventure game, blah, blah. Yeah, I know what it is. That secret I hadn't actually blown open yet. Oh, yeah, it's a good game. And I'm excited to be able to play this. I mean, even if it is... I guess really what I've learned is I should take the dungeons a little slower. Like, it's very unnecessary to try and heave through them as quickly as I do.
Especially when everything's designed to be quick.
Yeah.
And if you take it quick, then you're done with it really early.
I've already been in here, obviously. Boink.
I finally figured out how the time works.
How's that?
That first one is hours.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, I just expected it to be like specifically for this game, but it continues through all of the weeks of the games. I don't know. I didn't realize that until now.
He's gonna conquer the world. He's a bad guy. But my great buddy Link beat him up. What does conquer the world mean? Means dead. Yeah, I would have liked to. So, I got the BS operating system to run. So what happens when you logged into the BS, this is Teleview, you made your own avatar, which is a boy or a girl. And it very much looked like Earthbound. Do you remember Earthbound? So it looked like Earthbound. You walked around this town, and there were all these different buildings, and the buildings are what access the different games.
Oh, man, it's me Plaza.
Basically.
Yeah.
Did you say the same thing?
He's never seen it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But like, so, you know, the stadium, which was the Excite Bike, was only open on Thursday at 7 p.m.
Wow.
Yeah, because it was a TV broadcast.
Yeah.
So like
That's a really cool way of doing it.
It is. And then this Link, it was a fortune teller's tent. The fortune teller's tent like popped up in town, and you go in there and you follow the golden bee into the back of the tent and it teleports you here. But I would love to get those other games to work. Half of them were kind of garbage. Like there was just some real silly, corny.
I'm sure a
ones.
lot of it was used as just like testing.
Well, like reskinning Excite Bike, it probably wasn't
into Mario.
that big a difference.
But it was still cool that they did it at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was neat. And then, you know, stuff like this where Link gets a baseball cap that he wears backwards, which screams the 90s.
Yeah.
It was all really cool. It would be fun to play the others. I've seen gameplay of the others. But yeah. So what they did is the Satellaview cartridge, the BS cartridge, you had to buy other blank cartridges for it. So you plug the main cartridge into your thing, you put it on the Super Nintendo, goes on top of the Satellaview modem, and then think of it kind of like a Game Boy Advance game. You stick that cartridge in the top, and that's what saves your data. And so that's where these come from. people who had those cartridges with the crap saved on it.
Wow.
And then people dug it off of there and managed to like build a complete ROM out of it.
Wow.
Because otherwise there was no way to save the game. Like the broadcast, once it was done, its data would go away. So you had to basically save it on your little cartridge. And the cartridge was reusable, so someone could delete it and then play a different game next week and save it on there. But luckily there were some people who legitimately bought a cartridge for every single week. And so they were able to salvage chunks of it. It's super interesting to read about if you ever get the chance. And it would have been cool to have played if it had ever, gotten out of Japan. So much cool stuff never came out of Japan, which sucks. But I think that's it, guys. We've blown most of the night, and then Link's just gonna sit here for another 20 minutes to end this game. But we appreciate everybody joining us and watching the show. 3 thumbs up for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4: Trails of Time. And this ends BS Zelda Week 3, basically. Will be Week 4. We'll be beating this game next Saturday, hopefully. But that's a lot. Thanks a lot, Dave, for showing up and having some fun this night and beating Ninja Turtles for us. And that's it. So have a good night, everybody.
See you guys.